What's up, y'all? We are back with another episode of Thompson and Stuff. Okay, it's just Thompson and Stuff. But what's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? No lime, no lime, no key, no lime, no time, no long time, no talk. I know. What have I been up to? A lot, really. A lot. We are recording live from the backseat of my car. uh, that's one of the problems I've been having lately is finding a place to record. Right now in the house, people got to get up early for work, and I don't want to be too loud to wake them up. So, luckily, I can use the refuge of getting away and getting in my car and recording to talk to you guys because I missed y'all so much. I was still near, the podcast stuff, checking the stats, and I'm very happy that during my month away, I was still receiving support. Thank you guys so much for supporting the podcast, and I'm just so grateful for you all. I love podcasting. I'm not giving it up. It's just I'm trying to balance working and running my businesses. So sometimes time just slips away. And 4 months really has 4 months. 4 weeks. See, that's how long I feel like I have not podcast. 4 weeks have really, really slipped away for me. Everything is going really good. I'm happy. Projects are coming. I'm currently writing a new book. I can't confirm that for you. I'm writing a new book. It's not an Angela book or anything, but you guys are gonna love this. It's based in Meridian. It's currently being converted from writing to text, which means I'm typing it right now. And hopefully I will have it in the market probably by summertime. Thinking summertime. Yeah, summertime. That sounds cool. But yeah, I'm back. What the game's missing, I'm back. I'm back. Welcome back. Beth back. Well, Amanda's back. But yeah, so let's get into this episode, shall we? So we're gonna start off. I'm gonna get the sad news out of the way. I have been pretty sad. Even though things have been going good, I've been pretty sad these past couple weeks. Early April, DMX was hospitalized due to an overdose or a heart attack. And sadly, he passed away about maybe a week or so later. And I was affected by that. As you all know, I am a hip-hop head. I love hip-hop. I love old school hip-hop. I was born in the 90s. That's my generation. DMX was in my life for 23 years. I've never met DMX, but he's been in my life for 23 years. I was 3 years old when I first saw DMX on TV. Now, 3 years old, it was 1998. So we didn't have digital cable like we do now with like 1,000 channels and all that stuff. The box was not a big thing. In my mom's house, we didn't have the box. We live in the suburbs of Chicago, but I will watch the box at my grandmother's house, and at the time she was living in the south side, so she lived in the city. So I guess geographically, if I'm using that word right, the city could get the box in their cable packages, but we had cable too. We just didn't get it. I remember being 3 years old, and I sat in front of my grandmother's floor set TV from like the 1970s or so, and I saw this bald dude with no shirt on in some scenes, and I saw a RR in other scenes on his shirt. And the first song by DMX I ever heard was the Rough Riders anthem. And I've loved that song for over 20 years. Everything DMX did, I loved. I loved DMX in the early 2000s when he came out with What These Bitches Want. I loved DMX when he came out with Who We Be. I loved DMX in 2006 when he came out with Lord Give Me a Sign. That's one of my favorites. I play that song every time I feel like I'm in a low part of my life. DMX was everything to me. And we lost him. We lost DMX, man. I was in my office and I cried. Like, I cried when Michael Jackson died. I cried like when Whitney Houston died. And this is the worst part about getting older. I've seen so many people go. I've seen so many of our black entertainers go. I've seen Michael go. I've seen Whitney go. I've seen Nipsey go. I've seen Aaliyah go. I saw Left Eye go. I see, Gregory Hines go. DMX had a lot of troubles, though. I understand that. People say, get help, addiction is curable. Well, the way they say it is like, it could be gone with like Robitussin. It's really not. I struggle with my drinking. I have a drink every once in a while. I had a problem when I was younger, and then I started having health complications because of it, so I stopped. It's not easy. And I think that with X, he had a hard time with it. The rehabs, all that stuff, I think he just needed more. A little bit more than rehab and all that stuff. And I still don't believe it. I actually sat and I watched this man's funeral on TV. He had a beautiful services for him. Beautiful. His services were not actually that long ago. He had a service at Barclays in Brooklyn. Beautiful. Had Kanye's choir sing, and people came up and spoke. His children came and spoke. I really was so proud of them to be so young and to speak about their father. Swiss Beats came up and spoke. Swiss, that was his brother. I understand. And people are so in their feelings about Swiss coming on a funeral and saying, hey, I think we should do wills. Write a will. He has every right to say that. You know why? Because as an African American, and I've seen this one few times too many, even in my own family, that this person lived their life and then they die and then they don't leave no will, and now the family is scrambling to do God knows what to get a funeral and all that stuff. Now, in my family, I can't count the people's pockets. I don't know if they had health insurance and all that stuff. But I've attended funerals where their final wishes were not fulfilled. The people who plan their funerals are thinking that, yeah, this is what they might want. But when you write a will, you can write out what your final wishes to be for your funeral. So I think that was what Swiss was trying to say. And yeah, I've been to certain funerals where I look around and I look at the people and I look at the program and I say, man, this is not what they would have wanted. This is not what they would have wanted. So I'm glad that Swiss kind of spoke about that at DMX's funeral. And Of course, we saw the Rough Riders, we saw Eve and the Locks and Dragon. And please, God, keep over Dragon. I understand that, him and DMX were very close. And it was really awful to lose somebody you truly, truly, truly love like that. We saw him again at um, the homecoming services he had at a church in Brooklyn. I think it was Holy Cultural Center or something. I don't know. I'm not from New York, so it was a beautiful church. The pastor was really nice, very gracious. A lot of memories. Performances were great. I mean, they had Faith Evans come in and sing on tape, and had Lear Cohen and Russell Simmons just reflecting on the life of DMX. I will truly miss DMX. He has been the longest rapper I've been listening to. I will miss his music. I'll miss him making new music, of course. I will miss that. And, yeah. Rest in peace also to Black Rob. Black Rob had some health issues. I believe he had like a couple strokes, and he was on video talking about DMX about a few days after he passed away, and then probably about a week later after that video came out, Black Rob passed away himself. He had, again, some health issues. And also, rest in peace to Shock G from the Digital Underground. Rest in peace. Wow. Shock G was actually found dead in a Tampa hotel room. We don't know what removed him from this earth, but may he rest in peace. And I hope that the family can find out. Probably he had some underlying health issues. But, he will be laid to rest in Tampa. So rest in peace, Shock G. Rest in peace. And I want to get away from death now, because this is getting uncomfortable. Celebrity breakups. There was a lot of them while I was gone, guys. Damn. A-Rod and J-Lo broke up because they thought that they would be better off as friends. And y'all know good and goddamn well that something deeper is going on in that house. The young lady from that Bravo show, she came out and said I was messing with A-Rod while he was with J-Lo, and that probably got to her, and I don't know. But I was really rooting for J-Lo and A-Rod because they seemed like they were a perfect match. I mean, J-Lo's been married like 3 times, so I'm like, damn, girl, get you a good man, please. Get you a good man. Well, you know what? Sometimes we do love these celebrity couples so much. We hold like a really high grail for them. And I do hope they get back together, and I do hope they get married, because J-Lo needs somebody and she needs to stop getting all these divorces and breakups. And also the children, they got along really well. A-Rod's got like daughters by his ex-wife, and J-Lo's got her twins. So they all seem very close, and that would really hurt if one of my parents got with somebody who had kids who are my age, and we just grew really close. We're like real siblings, and now the parents break up and they're gone. That kind of sucks for the kids. Who else? Gary Owen and his wife. Now this one kind of shocked me because Gary and his wife are amazing. They're amazing. Like, if you watch like the Gary Owen show, they were really a cute couple. They've been together for like 20 years, married for 18 years. They got remarried. And, yeah, that was a shocker. I heard, Gary cheated, and somehow Claudia Jordan was involved, but, that was almost a month ago. So I don't know. It kind of died down to me, and, just pray for them, And lastly, Quavo and Sweetie. That's how you say her name. Sweetie, right? Sweetie. So Sweetie, and Mr. Quavo broke up. And I don't blame Sweetie for leaving because, Quavo's young, and, he's a part of the Migos, and the men in that family, they're kind of well known for not, being very faithful to their women. What's the guy's name? Married to Cardi B. Not Quavo, Takeoff. Offset is related to Quavo. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It really makes a lot of freaking sense, okay? Quick question for y'all. Y'all still mad at Kirk Franklin? I'm not. I never really was mad at Kirk Franklin. Kirk Franklin is a black parent. And he kind of snapped on his child and tried to get the child. Well, he's not a child; he's a grown man. But look, I understand why this shit died down so quickly. Okay, you know, he was grown. He's a grown man that kind of spoke to his father out of line, and you know, if you're a black child with black parents, you'd understand. And, you know, Lord knows I understand. My parents, they know Jesus, but there were times when myself or one of my brothers got out of line, and, you know, we had to get back in line. So, you know, I let that stuff pass too far. I don't think nobody cares anymore, but, you know, Kirk Franklin, do your thing. Do your thing. Other good news, Ginny in Georgia, the TV show on Netflix, has been renewed for a second season. I'm very excited about that. I really do like that show. I read the reviews a lot on Twitter, and a lot of the opinions I see come from probably people who don't have children. I want to let you guys know, some of y'all might not come from single parent households or struggling households, or, you know, households that had some sort of trauma or brokenness. But as a single parent, and I've witnessed this growing up. My mother was a single parent. My parents broke up before I was born, but my father's still very well in my life. But anyway, when you're a single mother, you do what you have to do to take care of your children. Okay? I don't have children, but I witnessed this firsthand. Georgia. I don't want to get Jenny and Georgia mixed up. I don't want to call the mother the daughter's name and the daughter's the mother's name. Georgia had to do what she had to do to survive. Okay? Georgia's stepfather abused her. Georgia's mother her head was gone. So Georgia lived on the street. So Georgia had to pimp herself out and sleep with men she didn't want to sleep with and be married to people she didn't want to be married to. And that taught me that I'm glad that that's kind of coming to TV a little bit. Now, let's not glamorize that life. Let's not, because it's tough. And that's what some of you guys, and even the daughter's character, is not understanding. Now, I am a little excited because, spoiler alert, I'm sorry if you have not watched the show. If you don't have any interest in watching the show, it's fine. You can listen. But if you are interested and you haven't watched it, you can fast forward this for a little bit. But in the end of the season, the mother ends up being engaged to the mayor, right? So I'm excited to see how that will play out. Will she, do something to the mayor? Will the mayor flip his mind, start beating the hell out of her? We don't know. And I'm very excited to see that plot. Something else I want to talk about really briefly, because I'm not political, and this is kind of a light pop culture celebrity type podcast, but I feel compelled I have to talk about this as an African American woman. The Derek Chauvin case. Recently, about maybe a week or so ago, Mr. Derek Chauvin was found guilty of murdering an innocent black man in the middle of the street in Minnesota. Now, I am relieved that he has been found guilty, because I have been sitting at home for many years watching guilty people walk free for the crimes that they have committed. I remember watching Casey Anthony walk free for killing her baby. I remember George Zimmerman being acquitted of murder charges. No more. No, we must not do that anymore. Derek Chauvin is guilty. He did what he did, and he shall go to jail, prison. Prison. I don't wish people prison on a lot of people, but this individual, I do wish it on. George Floyd was an innocent black man. He did nothing wrong. He was on the ground screaming. People who were around that scene were screaming, he can't breathe. Get off of him. He can't breathe. But I don't know, like, what the hell was in Chauvin's mind? Do you think, oh, because you're a cop, you can have the privilege? I want to stay on it? No. It was not right. I learned that sentencing is in June for Mr. Chauvin. Again, I do not wish prison on anybody. But for this situation, this man has to get life. Has to get life. And also, I hope this is a wake-up call for America. Black people have been being murdered by police for too many years, and probably up to 30 or 40, 30, look, very recently has these murders been on tape. And I think every case should be reopened. They've opened Breonna Taylor's case. Reopened Breonna Taylor's case. And I hope that her family gets the justice. I'm terrified. When I drive down the street in my neighborhood, I'm terrified to be pulled over by the police. And also, I'm from a community where I pulled up a couple stories of young black people being killed by the police. Very recently, we just had a young man be killed by the police. He was shot by the police. He was in police custody while in the hospital, but sadly, he died from his injuries. And I knew I knew certain members of the young man's family. I went to school with like his sisters or so. I worry for our black people. You know what's crazy? I bought my first car, right? And I went in there thinking, man, I'm going to buy my first car. It's going to be dope. I'm going to have all the bells and whistles, all this good stuff, right? I had to sit and think about something as I was shopping for my car. I'm young. I'm black. I live in a predominantly black town. That still don't mean nothing. I could still be pulled over, questioned by the police. Is this your car? A white officer could walk up to me and say, I think this car is stolen. And I'm very glad that I made the choice. It's a very basic car. I feel okay to drive it down the street. And I'm tired of seeing things like that. And I hope that everybody gets their justice. I'm tired of watching our black people get killed from the police over nothing. We just had another killing in Virginia. A young man was killed because the police thought that the cordless phone that they had was a gun. Oh my God. I'm just over it. I'm done. Honestly, and I think they should just stop giving these cops, when they do wrong, these administrative leaves. Administrative leaves. No, fire them, because they don't deserve. To be a cop is to protect and serve. Protect the people, serve the community. Am I right or wrong? I don't know. I'm not a cop. But they're not protecting. They're projecting their prejudices, if I could say that. I'm just over it, guys. I can't. I just hope that Chauvin gets what he deserves, and he deserves life because he took an innocent black one. And not only that, but I remember after George Floyd died, nationwide was turned upside down. And the good thing that came out of that was all these protests, all these marches. Great, wonderful, beautiful. But then you got these riots. I'm from a neighborhood, it's predominantly black. The median average income is not that much. And I remember sitting at home, and I live 5 minutes away from the local shopping area. I'm sitting at home, and I'm watching my neighborhood get torn up. For what? My neighborhood's poor, dude. They robbed a shoe carnival. They robbed the mall. They robbed the Sam's Club. I don't want no more of that. It doesn't make sense. Okay? I'm going to end this serious stuff right here. We're going to end this. And lately, happier things. Let's go back to happier things. Versus is coming. Another Versus. I kind of missed the past few Versus. I know that they had Meth and Red. I kind of missed that one. They had a shot. Oh no, that was a while ago. I have it written down right here. They had. Let's see. Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind, and Fire. I really did watch that one. That one came on during Easter. So it was, they started it pretty late. Everybody probably had dinner and stuff by like 3, 4 o'clock. I know I did in my house. So that was a nice ending. Played all the hits. I learned some new songs by Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind, and Fire. I didn't know certain songs were by Earth, Wind, and Fire. I didn't know certain songs were by Isley Brothers. This would have been perfect for my parents. They grew up during this era. I did have it playing in the kitchen while we were cleaning the kitchen up for my mom. You know, there were certain dance moves she did to them, and she would tell me some stories of how she was in high school, and it was just really nice. Now, I had one request for the Isley Brothers. They had to do Contagious, because let me tell y'all something. Me, I was born in 95, right? I was 6 when it came out. My nephew, he's about a couple years younger than me. My niece, probably, and my brother, we all sing that song like it ain't nothing. So if they were not going to play Contagious during this Versus, my house was not getting a good night's sleep. And they did do Versus towards the end, so that was really cool. They did bust it. Earth, Wind, and Fire did their thing. Now they're having like the schedule. They haven't really revealed what Mother's Day is going to have. Mother's Day is actually next week. So they're going to do that, and make sure y'all get y'all mama something nice. I got to go shopping for my mother, and we're probably going to take her out to eat. I don't know. I probably would be surprised. She probably listens to the podcast. It's bad enough she follows me on Instagram. So, follow me on Instagram. Follow my personal account, A-Marie, Son of Tom. And follow the official Thompson and Stuff podcast. You could type in the bar, Thompson and Stuff official podcast or podcast official. It'll come up. Give me a follow. We're growing our businesses all 2021. Guys, come on. It's 2021. We got to grow our businesses. Be entrepreneurs. So the next Versus is Escape and SWV. And nothing against those legends, but I'm not a fan, so I'm going to skip that one out. And speaking of podcasts, I couldn't wait to get to this one. The Joe Budden and them podcast. I love Joe Budden. Joe Budden's podcast I've been listening to since college. Joe Budden podcast started in 2015 with Marissa and Joe and Rosenberg from Hot 97 in New York. And I've been with them since college. I graduated college with them and went through a lot of things. And every Wednesday, and up until probably a few years ago, Wednesday and Saturdays, I was there. Sadly, earlier this month, we had a situation where Rory and Mal left because, there was a little bit of tension in the friendship. But very recently, or this past episode, we're in late April during this recording, Rory and Mal came back. And I'm very relieved about that. And I'm very relieved that they got to talk their issues out behind the mic and in front of the mic. And that's what's really scary about doing business with your friends, is that sometimes there's going to be a little bit of ruckus. And I think that's what really happened with the men, is that, business kind of got in the way. And then, Joe sometimes got a little slick at the mouth and kind of aired out some things that they probably didn't want aired out. And, just a lot of that stuff. But I am glad that it's pretty much done and wrapped up, and I don't have to really get into it. I didn't really have a lot to say about it. I just wanted to report it. But to report the good news that they're good, it really makes me happy. Let's see. I think this is going to be another short podcast, but hey, whatever, TV shows, Netflix. Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me. I think that was a good show. It's very far from the Jamie Foxx show. I think it's what I thought was going to be was if Jamie from the Jamie Foxx show became a parent, basically. But when I first started watching the show, I thought Jamie was a little serious for this to be a sitcom. But as time went by and I watched the episodes, it's a pretty funny show, very uplifting show, black cast, life lessons learned in episodes as well. So I thought that was great. On Hulu, they have a Nickelodeon documentary going over the history of Nickelodeon. It has stars Kel Mitchell, Kenan Thompson. I think you all should really check that out if you're a Nickelodeon fan. I was kind of growing up. I watched a lot of Nickelodeon, and I was forced to watch the Disney Channel. I'm not a Disney Channel fan because my cousin liked Disney. The Disney Channel. I love Mickey Mouse, but I think that's pretty much the only thing I like of Disney. I liked Cartoon Network, but when I was a kid, I grew up watching MTV and listening to Limp Bizkit and all that stuff, so I'm a little built different. Sadly, you guys, snowfall is over. Snowfall is over. Good season. Strong, somewhat, okay, not really strong ending, but I hope that's like kind of preparing us for next season, and hope a lot more heavier things has happened. I know I haven't been really talking about it, but if you've been watching and paying attention, something big is going to happen. And I was still right by like tweet I put out like a couple months ago, something big and is going to happen, and it's going to fall on either Franklin and Leanna. And I think at the end it fell on both of them, and it also fell on Franklin's father, which I didn't see coming. And did you guys know that the man who played Franklin's father is the op Calvin in Paid in Full? So it all makes sense, it makes freaking sense. And lastly, Allen versus Farrell, and then I also want to talk about the Tina Turner documentary, which I can knock out now. Tina Turner documentary was really good. As you all know, Tina Turner, very prominent rock singer, had a very great career from the 60s to the 90s, had What's Love Got to Do with It, left America, relinquished her American citizenship, blah, 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 blah. Great documentary. And, it was a way for her to kind of bow out from the public eye. I don't blame her. She's in her late 70s. She wants to live her life, enjoy her husband, enjoy her home in Europe somewhere. So I'll leave it at that. But Allen versus Farrell, I finished it about a couple weeks ago, and I no longer support Mia Farrow movie. I never really did, never even seen a Mia Farrow movie, and if I were to, I would not watch it, because this woman was stiff. And I'm not saying that because she's white, and as black women, we'll probably beat the hell out of whoever's messing with our kids and kill them, but Mia was stiff, and I think the police who were involved in her daughter's case, stiff, all stiff. It was just stiff, and I just felt like she was like that pushover that just sat there and did nothing to help her child. I mean, she brought in police, but to me, that's not good enough. And Woody Allen, I've never seen a damn Woody Allen movie in my life, and I don't plan on watching a Woody Allen movie in my life. So, stiff, just stiff. yeah, no, not for me. Nope. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I thank y'all again for hanging with me in the back seat of my car. Hopefully, I could record in my house. I use my Apple headphones and my phone. I miss my mic and my computer, but thank y'all again for listening. Thank you for the support, the continued support. I will try to podcast more. Don't worry, I'm not quitting. I promise you. Follow me on Instagram, A-Marie, son of Tom. Follow me on Twitter, A-Mar T. I don't know, but I do post tweets from my Twitter account on my Instagram, so you can just go there. Follow the Instagram for the podcast. And thank y'all. Really, I appreciate y'all. So, I'm going to end this right here. And y'all, stay prayed up, stay blessed. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there. I'm not a mother. I have no children. I barely got a man. But that's okay. It's okay. I just mess with y'all. But be careful out there, y'all. Really, be careful. And I love you. And we'll talk soon. All right? Bye.